If you're clicking on today's video, it is very likely you're having an issue or have had an issue in the past where you digitized an image exactly the way it looks. It looks perfect on screen, and then you stitch it out and the registration is just off. Maybe it's not horrible, but it doesn't look exactly the way that you digitized it on screen. Just like this image here that we're working on today. I was hoping the flaws on this stitch out was more apparent, but the image itself is not that big, so there wasn't that many issues. But still, as you can see right here, we have white sticking out. There's also slight gaps right in here, and also very tiny around here between the fill and the satin border. And then we have some yellow sticking out right there. That first digitizing round, I just did it real quick, just the shapes. There was no real planning to it. I just kind of did it as fast as I could. So on the second run, I'm gonna show you guys start to finish how to digitize it with a little bit more intention and being more careful to avoid those issues and not waste your garments or even your scraps over and over having the same issues. So let's get into it, and I'll dive a little bit deeper than usual on digitizing Homer Simpson here today. Before we get started, I do want to say that there are other things that affect your embroidery besides just the digitizing, like having your tension right on your machine, the type of stabilizer that we're using, which is one sheet of Cutaway for today, and the type of fabric that you're working on, of course. I'm gonna use the same type of fabric that I use for that. So a piece of sweatshirt, pretty much a Gildan sweatshirt. And yeah, let's get into it. The good thing about this one is we just have a few colors, so we should be able to get through it fairly quickly. We'll start here with the yellow. You could start with, at least with this image, you could start with the white as well. But usually I like to start with the biggest parts first. Also, feel free to put this in 2x speed because still not sure right now, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be doing time-lapse parts for this. Just because it's mainly about digitizing, so might as well show everything. Also, you don't always have like a clear picture like this one. Like clients, possible clients, they send some really rough pictures sometimes. Okay, well, the first thing I want to do is, just so we are aware of it, because this changes later on, like when you tweak a certain shape, it could change. These points, for some reason, they go back to their default. So I'm gonna put the start and stop at opposite ends. I have my stitch angle here at 0 degrees, so completely left to right, and I'm gonna put it from bottom to top so that I don't get a possible line in my embroidery. That line or a gap in the middle of your embroidery is way more apparent on super large images or objects. Not so much on these small parts, but still, just for good measure, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, second thing, let's go ahead, jump into the eyes, color white, tatami fill as well. Everything is pretty much gonna be a tatami fill except for the borders, and I think the eyes. I went way off there. It's so hot here in the garage right now, it's a pain. Okay, and what we could do here, or what we should do, all right, so we're gonna put our start here and ending over here since the stitch angle is going up and down. And then I'm gonna come to stitching over here, turn that off, the automatic trim, because I'm gonna be doing a running stitch along where the border is gonna be to connect us to the other white part of this design, which is a Homer shirt. In this case, this image is fairly simple, so you're not saving too much time, but overall it does save time and keeps your design cleaner. Sometimes if the design is crazy complicated or a bunch of color changes, it'll save you some needle breaks, possible thread shredding, and just complications overall. Oh, that has to be a fill, but a tatami as well, just like that. Let's go ahead and do this left and right. Actually, for this one, let's switch it up. Since the yellow connecting to it is left to right, let's do this one. Is the camera shaking? Let's do this one like this. Wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and work on Homer's beard here. There we have it. All right, now before we get into the borders, let's go ahead and take care of the mouth here. Because this fill is going to be tatami and it's going to sit underneath the other borders, like right here. Forgot to change that to black. Since the brown is running left to right, let's go ahead and do this up and down, or else the stitching, it'll be fine, but the stitching sometimes gets lost in the other object. All right, so that'll be the black. Then we'll do the red here. We got some overlap, some intentional overlap here. That'll be black. I should probably change that. Let's do just a random angle here. And then we'll do a gray. I'm also ignoring, for this video at least, I'm also ignoring all of these like other shades of, you know, like there's a darker gray here, there's a lighter yellow there. We don't need all that for today. Okay, now actually one more thing. Let's do the eyeballs. That also has to sit underneath the border. I'll change that color in just a second. All right. Okay, let's select that one, put that to black. Satins, we'll change the shape just like that. I'm not worried about the starts and stops so much on this one here for those areas. Now, to make everything a little bit faster when doing the borders, we're gonna choose digitize open shape. We're gonna come over here to satins. I'm gonna do this 0.035 inches in width. I'm gonna come over here, same thing, automatic trims off. So all of these lines that I'm gonna be doing, after completing them and starting the next one, it's gonna be already so that there is no trim. And the software will automatically choose its start and stop to best fit the path that we're drawing. So we'll just start here on the nose. It's still on gray. I have to change that. Let's go all the way around. Before just know right now I'm pretty much drawing it exactly to the lines of the design, but I will move the objects inside once I'm done, or else I'll still get those gaps. This is just kind of to get it done, and then I'll show you guys right after what we gotta do. Let's go ahead and actually I'll just end it here. Make sure it connects nicely to the mouth. We'll keep that like as is. There's gonna be a jump stitch here because this line that I'm doing now doesn't connect to anything. So there is gonna be a jump stitch. That's all right. Keep going. And I'm pressing T on the keyboard to toggle true view. This here. Space to finish the object or the border. I'll do these little hairs at the end. Going all the way around. Also, these borders are really thin, but if the design had bigger borders, then I would do these little ends to the satins the way that they are, with a little point to it. But I already ran it once and it would literally make little to no difference. Okay, we'll have a little jump stitch here. It's all good. Let's avoid a jump stitch here. Let's finish it there, and we'll continue it just like that. Now it all connects across. All right, is that it? Am I missing any little, besides the hair, the ear? Okay. Now, let's put on automatic trim again, so we just don't have a really large jump stitch here. It's a little funky there, but I'll leave it. Boom. All right. The comb over. And that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Let me hide the actual design underneath. And now the last thing we gotta do is go again, or go through it, at least the large shapes, and see where we could possibly be having gaps, which is usually on the opposite ends. So my left and right. So in this case, since the stitching is going left to right, the gaps will appear on the left and right side. So around this area here, you wanna pull these out. Of course, when you're digitizing these objects off the bat, you're already thinking about that, just so you don't waste time in having to go back through the entire design as I'm doing right now. But honestly, I still do it this way. My little brain can't handle all that. I just, you know, do it my way. So that avoids the gaps, the holes where your thread doesn't fully connect with the borders. And to avoid the thread sticking out, in this case, is the top and bottom parts. So at the top, I bring this down. So when it pushes up, it still matches right up here on the border. Not much. Again, this design is pretty small, so there should not be that much of an issue there. Right here, it's all kind of connecting between the white and the border, so there shouldn't be much issue. Now with the white here, since the stitch angle is bottom to left, what's gonna stick out is the left and right. Instead of pulling in like with the yellow, now it's gonna stick out left to right because of the stitch angle. So let's bring in this a little bit closer. A little bit closer now. All right, and with the bottom, stick that out a bit. All right, a lot of nodes right there. The beard is the same with the face. It's gonna pull in from the left to right. So let's bring that out just a little bit. And bring bottom and top inward. Inward and onward. The eyes, I am not too worried, but let's do a little bit. What else is there? What else is there? I think that's about it. It is the height. I'm gonna make it a flat 3 inches in height. Also, I didn't change density or anything else. Everything was left like standard. And yeah, I think it's ready to go, and it should come out just about perfect. Now, I do not consider myself a pro in the digitizing game at all, but I just keep trying and trying until I get it right. And naturally, I learned some things along the way. But when I first started, I used to watch a ton of John Deere videos and Romero threads as well. So you guys want some deep info and tips, those are the goats. Let's get this hooped up here using this hoop today. I'm just gonna set up the colors here. They're pretty accurate, but I didn't feel like switching threads around, so I'm doing whatever's closest to what it's supposed to be. The beard probably wouldn't be as dark, or would it? I don't know. Let's do the tongue white, the saliva, tan, and then black. Let's run this at 800. Gives us a time of 13 minutes till completion. See, I should have gone back and checked, because again, that split landed right in the middle instead of how I intended it to. It shouldn't have met in the middle, but luckily for this one, it doesn't matter. There we go. Not that many jump stitches. We got that at the end. We got this one. And I think just this one here by the mouth. But as you can see, we have nothing sticking out from the yellow or the white. No gaps all around. We're looking clean. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more specific type of designs that maybe are a little bit more intricate, or dive into certain specifics a little bit more. I literally had nothing to do, but I felt like doing a video, so I just found an image on Google and decided to just digitize it for you guys. But that's pretty much it. It came out good. These are just real easy tweaks that you can do to your designs to avoid those gaps that I know for sure, at least the beginners always get. I see it a lot on forums, people asking questions why there's gaps in their designs, or it didn't line up the way that they saw it on screen. So just thought I could do that and maybe it'll help somebody out. As always, any likes or subs are very much appreciated. That's it for me.